Hello there. Bearbard here, welcoming you back to another episode of Bearbard Tales. I hope you're ready to settle in for a couple stories from r/RPG horror stories, cause yeah, that's what you're about to get. Our first story is titled, Roll for Intelligence. Let's roll to seduce and get this started. I never want to hear these words again. In a recent one-shot I was a part of, we were working our way through a typical dungeon. Lots of traps, lots of puzzles. Each party member was contributing ideas on how to investigate the traps or solve the puzzles. All in all, for a bunch of strangers, it was a really good group. Apparently though, we were getting through it too quickly and too successfully for the DM's liking. We reached the puzzle and it stumped us for a little while before my low intelligence, 5 int, fighter came up with a solution and posted it to the party. Great, we have the answer. We'll do X. DM says, "Your character's too dumb to have come up with that. Roll me an intelligence check." I rolled a 3. DM says, "You all look at the fighter and laugh at them, dismissing their ideas because you know it won't work." Oh. Okay. We eventually came up with another solution and passed the puzzle, but it seemed the DM now had an idea for how they could slow us down. At every puzzle, trap investigation, and solution discussion afterwards, they had us roll intelligence checks to see if we understood what we saw or understood the clues. If the rolls were low, the information got discarded, and we were warned against metagaming if someone else offered to try and roll for their character. If your character came up with a solution, roll intelligence to see if the party thought you were stupid. It got tiresome very quickly, and each of us eventually made an excuse to go when the time began to run well over the 2 to 3 hour period we had set aside. Such a shame. Edit? Slight edit for clarity. I absolutely understand why the DM said, "Your character's too dumb to have come up with that." 100%. I got very unlucky with a random rolled array of stats for this one-shot character. It was fair enough. They had a point. But I wasn't a fan of how they went about it. The reason I posted here was more the DM firstly removing the other player's agency by saying they laughed at my fighter. Secondly, the DM then made everyone start rolling these checks, including the sorcerer with 17 intelligence. If she rolled poorly, the DM was equally as punishing. "Sorry, you were too busy checking out the paladin's ass and forgot what you were doing," etc. I was trying to keep this mostly short and sweet. Sorry for any confusion. And scene. I get what the DM was going for with having the OP roll for an intelligence check, since I believe 5 puts him right above a rabid animal, but I feel like they could have gone about it better. Instead of putting them and the rest of the party in a box for the evening, just to slow them down, they could have worked through it more fairly. Maybe the fighter helps hint at the solution and others pick it up. Maybe you give the fighter a bonus in int for being able to come up with a solution. Maybe the fighter now has a headache for overreaching their ability. The point is, there are better options than were taken. And now for the second story, which is actually our first user-submitted story from Reddit user u/chaosgamergirl. This one's titled, Homebrew Cursed Item Results in Glitterbard. And here we go. I often include amusing, mostly harmless cursed items. I've included a map that's always upside down, a mirror that insults you, and a cloak that always flutters in heroic winds. Massive negative to stealth. My players enjoy these cursed items and will go out of their way to look for them. The most recent item was a glitter bag of holding. It acted just like a normal bag of holding, except anything you put in it came out absolutely covered in glitter, and the glitter would pass to everything touching it. So this item is identified and I explain what the curse does. The bard is giggling to himself at this point over Discord, and I keep having to pause because of his maniacal laughter. Of course, the party decides to give the bard the glitter bag. He was so excited and explains that he ties a rope around his ankles and secures the end to a tree. At this point, I'm just sitting there thinking, oh no, oh god, he isn't. He was, and he did. Now, I'm sure if I rules lawyered, I could have made it so he couldn't actually crawl inside, but since it didn't affect anything gameplay-wise, I let it go. The bard crawls into the bag of holding and comes out coated completely in glitter. I gave him a negative in stealth and a bonus to anyone tracking him since he was leaving a trail of it. I also gave him a bonus to perform checks because of his fabulousness. Now, the bard crawls into the bag of glitter every day there in town/village/city and spends the rest of the 1d6 days shedding glitter. I have never had a player so happy to get a cursed item. He now has the nickname of Glitterbard. Trademark. And scene. So this is obviously not a horror story, and I would actually call it more an epic tale of great DM and bard combo coming together to make something truly amazing. But real talk, It's the little things like this I love to see when a DM knows that something probably shouldn't happen, but lets it, cause it doesn't hurt anyone. Also, can we talk about like some of these other items? A mirror that insults you, I just call that mirror in the morning. It may not use words, but let's be honest. And that cloak, I would totally in real life rock that cloak at all times. I want to thank you guys for making it through to the end of this video and for joining me here on this episode of Bear Bard Tales. I really hope you enjoyed this story. If you have a story you want to submit to be read, you can do that either on our Discord or our subreddit. The links for both of those can be found in the description. If you had fun listening to this video and you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a follow. We're trying to grow a really cool community here and I'd love to have you be a part of it. For now, this has been the Bear Bard and I'll see you guys next time.